I'll just briefly touch on this bonus topic we had. Mostly this is just about we have some actual sales data for Switch 2 that's coming now, some official real data, not the finalized data for any of the territories, but we have retail data at least finalized for June. So Japan's final data went about 1.5 million Switch 2 sold in the month of June. That's just retail, does not include the My Nintendo Store sales, so we don't know what that is. Only Nintendo does. We'll find that out on August 1st. Same thing is basically true in the US, where there is 1.6 million in sales, according to Circana in the United States. That doesn't count Canada or Mexico. Just the US is 1.6. And that also doesn't include the My Nintendo Store sales. So whatever Nintendo sold directly, we don't know. So that puts it at 3.1 million just in those two territories. We obviously knew that it sold 3.5 million worldwide in 4 days. And in both territories that we have those sales for, not even counting the My Nintendo Store sales, fastest selling ever in a given month. I think beat PS4 in the US was 1.1 million in the US in 2013 in November. And then I think it beat GBA. Actually, I think was the fastest selling.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance, yeah.
Yeah, so it beat GBA.
It might be the fastest selling, but it didn't sell every unit available on the previous consoles.
It did in Japan. That's Japan. In Japan, it did. In the US, I don't really know. So the US is weird because some places it's easy to get, other places it's impossible. You can't even find a Switch 2 here. Every time it's restocked, it's sold out.
Same here. Yeah.
It's been in stock all day at Walmart, all 3 bundles.
I saw a couple in Target the other day.
3 bundles is crazy.
Yeah, the DK Bonanza that they had for DK Bonanza's launch at my local Best Buy, they had 70 systems, and I wasn't even there for it. Obviously, I already have the system and already have Bonanza. I was just doing some shopping, and by the time I got back up to the front, they were already sold out. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah, they're moving really well, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, no.
Well, I think they had enough stock to continue stock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doug Bowser said that they have enough stock to get through the summer just fine. So they're doing regular restocks, which I guess what's throwing people off a little bit is that Nintendo's waited. They could have released the system months ago and they didn't. And so they have more stock than usual. So the restocks are faster than usual. And people just aren't used to it. They're used to systems just being sold out for 6 months. And Nintendo's
happened in COVID.
We're actually I saw some arguments where people were talking about how the sales aren't that impressive because you could just tell by the scalper prices not being very high, and it's wait a second. So Nintendo's
how we like scalpers.
Nintendo meets demand, and so sales.
I also think that you guys were saying earlier, Donkey Kong was not the right choice for a launch game, right? Mario Kart was, but it still wasn't a single player game of that caliber. Yeah. So I think that as the Switch 2 gets more and more compelling software, which it obviously will, the sales are just going to keep getting stronger and stronger. So it's not it's this initial burst that's going to fall off. It's just going to pick up. And just people are, that have any Nintendo franchise they're interested in, when that game comes out, they're going to need to buy one.
I think word of mouth.
Nintendo games they're system sellers.
Yeah, I think word of mouth can help too, because World has kind of bad word of mouth right now.
Yeah,
but Donkey Kong doesn't. And I think as more people start hearing about how great this game is, it's going to make people want to pick up a Switch 2.
Yeah. And I think those Pokemon bundles are going to give it a boost as well. People are going to be like, you know what? Scarlet and Violet didn't play that well. I already know that they play better on the next console. I really, what's more exciting than playing my favorite series on Nintendo's brand new platform?
Yeah. I bet there's a lot of people that only play Pokemon that weren't going to get a Switch 2 that are probably what the heck?
Sure, totally.
Get it for $10 for the $60 version on Switch 1.
And then on top of that, right after Pokemon, Nintendo's going to announce probably in whether it's this next Direct that's rumored to be by the end of this month, or the September Direct. The holiday game is usually the biggest game of the year. We do not have a holiday game yet. Nintendo's been keeping their games closer to their chest, shorter runway between announcement and launch. But I fully expect Nintendo to have a Switch 2 exclusive for the holiday.
I think Smash Brothers is going to come sooner than later.
I agree with that. I don't think it's this holiday, but I agree with you. I would not be shocked to have a Smash tease. I think it's unlikely to get a Smash tease by this September's Direct, but it's possible. I think it's possible.
Is Sakurai's Kirby Air Rider, is that slotted for this year too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Golly. Come on, man. I only got
Yeah,
one.
a lot of great games, but not like huge names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's really good for building up that really nice backlog.
Oh, yeah,
so
they
that
know
when
what they're
you
doing,
get the
for sure.
huge titles you can slot in. I mean, we also got Zelda Age of Imprisonment coming out. That's a Warriors game. It's not everyone's style. I love those games.
Sure.
So I will be playing that.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. I didn't realize that was coming out this year too. Goodness.
Yeah. Well, technically the Warriors one is winter, so it could be a January game. I think it's going to land in December. I think the new what is it, Age of Imprisonment, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Age of Imprisonment. Yeah, I think we'll land in December. I'm really excited. It looks great. It's going to be Zelda Warriors with a good frame rate.
Finally, the story ties in as well.
Yeah.
And
They could
I
do
know-
some
I
DLC for
know
Mario Kart.
that my boy Nintenbyte wants to say something about Animal Crossing right now.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
I don't know if I
Is that
believe
the holiday
beat 'em ups,
game,
man.
Nintendo?
No, it's no.
No.
No, I think it's next year. I think they do something similar with Tomodachi Life where they do tease it a little bit. I don't think it's
Sure.
coming out in winter because like Animal Crossing is kind of a weird game to play in the winter, so I don't think it makes
Sure.
sense. So I think they tease it, but I think.
do you
it'll be
think Animal
covered.
Crossing even hits that hard because we're not like Animal Crossing blew up because of COVID?
Mhm.
Because people wanted a coat like I've never liked Animal Crossing, so I still don't see the appeal of it. But I don't think Animal Crossing like goes that hard.
I don't think it's going to do the 40 million that the
Definitely not.
the last one did. But you got to remember, even before that, New Leaf was a 10 million plus seller, so it's going to sell very
It
well.
depends. Like if they give the casual gamers that really got obsessed with Animal Crossing, if they really brought in the things that they liked about it, like I could see it. But that's a game where you don't want to launch it till like 3 or 4 systems in, so the systems are easier for those casual gamers to get, and
Yeah.
then it boosts. It's a huge bump in your system sales.
I think we're selling the next Animal Crossing short, and I understand there like circumstances with COVID obviously was massive for that game in its sales. But you got to ask. There's 2 questions you got to ask. The first one is, did that just create tens of millions of new lifelong fans who are going to want to be there for the series going forward? And second, the other part is, and the second part that's really interesting is that Nintendo's added features with Switch 2. I'm talking the game chat and like the camera features. Like think about like Animal Crossing just needs some innovative advancements. That's all it needs to take it to the next level on Switch 2.
Well, I think they made a big mistake
community
with the last one that if they make again will doom it, and that is to not have it be feature full and complete at launch.
Sure.
Yeah.
They need it feature.
Yeah.
They need it feature full. But I think, like, listen, I'm generally against like games as service. But if they treat Animal Crossing a little bit more, not making it a full games as service with like paid for seasons and battle passes and all that crap that's usually tied to those, but if they make it a little bit more of like this, like ongoing, living, breathing game that's really built on friends and community, it could explode. It could be a 50 million.
The updates were huge for it. That was the main reason why.
Well, I agree. I think they need to keep DLC coming for it to stay relevant. But I also think it needs to have a lot of the stuff that they marketed as DLC. It needs to have at launch. And then there's other new things that need to be steadily streamed out.
Because the base game of New Horizons was not good. There was like nothing in it. Nate?
Okay. So
back to you.
I'm actually really glad this came up because I'm actually going to end up throwing it back to Pat for a moment because if you guys don't know, he's the resident Animal Crossing guy, co-host of the Slow Burn podcast, knows very well how much cozy games have really been blowing up, right? And Animal Crossing is like the de facto top, everyone plays that kind of game in that genre. So like I look at what Gamebird said about underselling it, and it's like, well, you know, the one before this one sold 11 million, but cozy games still weren't as big a deal back then as they are now. They're a bigger deal today than they've ever been. And this is like the big one that everyone knows about, and everyone plays, and everyone enjoys, at least the base core of what Animal Crossing is in that community. So obviously, we want a more feature-rich game at launch, and we want obviously more consistent DLC. The DLC for it was fantastic, but then there was nothing after that, and that probably was because maybe they just realized, hey, we're towards the end of the gen, let's go right back to work and get the next one ready to go. So we can do constant content updates throughout Switch 2's gen. But I want to throw this over the Pat. Like, I'm curious about how well you think a new Animal Crossing. Let's say the rumors are true, and it is the big holiday game next year. This is pretty early in the gen, but also could be one of those DLC every year kind of games.
Yeah.
How well do you think it could possibly do? Because you're way more in tune with that audience than any of us here.
Yeah, I think Animal Crossing is like probably the top game that is going to sell units. Like, you think of games that people buy consoles for, there's a whole audience that aren't like, they only play Animal Crossing, similar to Pokemon. They only play Animal Crossing. And I know a lot of people that follow me that are like, I'm not getting a Switch 2 until they announce that. So I think it's honestly a no-brainer. It's not even if, it's when, and I even think that a New Horizons Switch 2 version would, like a Switch 2 version game would hit,
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to sell as much as New Horizons, because I do think the pandemic definitely played a role in there. But I still think we're looking at like a 35 million seller. I think
That's
it's
crazy.
Yeah, that's massive.
Do you think they're going to do a special edition Switch 2 for that?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Imagine that's next holiday and it's paired with Gen 10 Pokemon, and that if say Gen 10's only on Switch 2, I don't even know. You're not going to find Switch 2's next holiday.
No, you're not.
You literally won't be able to find them.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So
I mean,
they
that's good for
created
Nintendo. Animal Crossing's a little bit more evergreen with sales too there. So
yeah. And I do think they should follow the same strategy where it's like a little light with content, because the monthly updates really kept people going. And yeah, that final 2.0 update, they just threw it all when they could have broken it up. But
this gonna get the updates coming faster.
Yeah.
I had a video where I talked about this actually. I think Nintendo not only I think one of the main factors they're thinking of as they're releasing these games, we were talking about it, a lot of really high quality games like coming out like one after the other, but not very many of the huge names. And I think what they're doing is they don't want to sell out. They don't want it to be impossible to get. So they're they're putting out these good games, but letting the more hardcore fans have their chance. And then they'll put out some games like Animal Crossing or the next 3D Zelda, Gen 10 Pokemon, when they're ready, when they know like, okay, all these people already have them. So if we announce this, we're going to get a huge sell, but not too much. Yeah. I think that's part of what they're doing.
Yeah.
I also wonder for like the people that only buy for Animal Crossing, it's like if they announce it next summer, they might just start buying Switch 2s right away. So they're going to worry about the holiday rush.
Oh
like
yeah, as soon as they announce it,
for sure. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that happens. It's kind of crazy because you go before New Horizons, nobody was viewing Animal Crossing as a system selling kind of game. It's just that game you buy if you already have the system. No, now it's like that genre's gotten so big, it is a system seller, just like Pokemon, Zelda, Mario. It's crazy.
Yeah,
damn. I mean, seriously, you told me when I was playing Animal Crossing on GameCube that it would be what it is today. Holy shit, I would say bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue it's like one of Nintendo's like top 4 IPs now.
At this point.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I mean, you see all like the marketing thing. You see Isabelle. You'll see Isabelle there. You'll see
the thing tops 20-30 million, that officially will solidify it as it's a big consistent seller now.
Yeah,
because Splatoon's up there now too, 15 million seller every time, but hasn't cracked that 20 yet. So we'll see.
Like 8 Deluxe was the most selling game, but technically like the most selling original game.
They should add Donkey Kong to Animal Crossing.
They should add everything to it. They used to back then. Play NES games on it.
No, that was sick back in the day, man. Put a little arcade cabinets in my home. Oh, awesome. Bring it back. Come on, Nintendo. Let's go. Bring that stuff back.